should we listen to today? Do all kinds of jams. Maybe Wind Waker jams. Doesn't look like the Wind Waker soundtrack is copyright strikeable on YouTube as far as right now. So maybe we'll do some of that in the background today. Wind Waker. The alternate is like got Skullgirls. We could do some of the Street Fighter 6 music as mediocre as this. Do Helltaker. It's the Helltaker 3-year anniversary. Yeah, let's do some Helltaker music because it's the anniversary. Anniversary. Bum-ba-da-da. Hello! Welcome to today. We are drawing 1,000 hands because I want to get better at drawing hands. And what better way to learn than to simply brute force it? I know only Smash. Me throw rock, me win paper. I mean, how does paper beat rock? Let's be honest. You just drop a rock, it goes right through the paper. It's crazy. That being said, I'm also going to be listening to Helltaker music in the background because it is Helltaker's 3rd anniversary today. Yay! Yay, Helltaker. Love it. So that's what we're working on. So it's time to draw our very first hand. Now, I have a strategy here today, which is that since I'm doing 1,000 of them, right, I'm going to also use the learning process throughout. Meaning the first 100 or so are actually going to be tracing because I want to understand like the actual shapes at play. I'm going to be like tracing and trying to like mentally break down the actual pieces at play and what shapes are going on. So I'm going to be tracing over with like shapes and like structuring, if that makes sense, like anatomy structuring, for the first 100, which still leaves me 900 to go after that. But the very first one, well, we need a before and an after, right? So the very first one is just going to be a normal hand, no reference, no tracing, just normal hand. Okay, there it goes. So this is how I currently draw hands. It's pretty basic. Oop. That's way too big for a pinky. I'm a big fan of this, like you put the middle and the ring finger together. It just looks nice. God, this is so whack. But yeah, so that's kind of where I live. That's what I messed up. Okay. I was like, I missed something. It's because I didn't have the hand go back down. Your hand is not like actually a square. It's like this like tapers and then that goes down and like that. It's weird. Although maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, because this is a very quick and easy way to make a hand look like acceptable, is to just like put these two together. Okay. There we go. And then it just looks reasonable. I did make it too wide though. All right, well, I've already made it too small. So we're just gonna treat this as like a little sketch, and I'm going to make it grow. And I'm gonna draw over the top of it. Yeah, I also just do these like squared off fingertips for now. That's all I got. Not like actual squares, but that's just kind of what I do for now. And that goes down like that. And you got the knuckles. Like there. Got the fingernails. The fingernails. This is what I currently do for hands. Yep, there you go. That's that's our starting point. All right, you can tell that like I've drawn them before, but I'm by no means an expert in hands. Okay, moving on. We have a lot of hands to start drawing. So, like I said, starting out, we are just tracing and breaking down the shapes. So first thing, so that's where like the wrist cuts off. First thing I noticed is this big shape here. It leads up, we got a big fingernail. Kind of went up like that. Hand is folding. Kind of a line there, which is interesting. Person has long fingernails. Well, actually, so there's some. I'm gonna keep bumping the mic with my pen if I keep this up. There's a bit here. It kind of does some interesting stuff. It's difficult. I'll have to figure that out more later. Maybe boxing is not necessarily the way to go. Interesting, yeah. So there's like some kind of triangle here too, it looks like. I think this is a little bit too dark. Let's bring it up. Yeah, well, because like it's like catching light, but there's like some kind of triangle or something there. Might be easier to see from different hand positions, but something along those lines. This one I think might just be a cast shadow. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Regardless. Well, looks like shit, but that's okay. And yeah, it's a little bit too muddy down here. All right, we're gonna move on to the next. Okay, so we've got the top of the hand. So here's the knuckle. Here's the other knuckle. Again, this person has long nails. So fairly interestingly, this doesn't line up with the knuckle. What's going on here? So I guess there's just an angle to the knuckle, huh? So the inside part has an angle on the thumb. Because this one goes up, and then that one goes up there. So that's not actually like a tube or cylinder, it's like a slanty one. Knuckle, 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 knuckle. Just giving us this like that direction. Actually, more accurately, goes around like that and then goes through. Got knuckle, 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 knuckle. Goes there. We got a little bit of an up. A little bit of uppies. And then these ones are all gone, hidden behind. And there's the knuckle there, there. Again, this person has a fingernail there. So interestingly, it seems to go from the top of the knuckle down into the finger, but you don't necessarily show that part. This also seems to wrap around through the knuckle like that, but it again, you don't show the full part because obviously the skin goes over the top. Once again, relatively straight lines on the outside. We can't see them, so we have to assume kind of like this type of thing. And then, yeah. It goes through like that. so it goes up to the edge and then through the middle, up to the edge and then through the middle. Something like that. Through the edge. Oh, this one has a ring, which obviously just sits on it, and then it just kind of goes over. Let me close this. Close this down. Because that's that kind of a knuckle. And then once again, oh, looks like we kind of got a little bit of the knuckle there. So this one should be like that. So it looks a lot like this type of thing. Or like it breaks down. Obviously you got your fingernail. And then like the top part is this interesting shape. Okay. And then the top of the hand, it goes like that. So if we take the line from the middle down to about where the middle would be. So middle finger to the middle. If we put this is probably a reasonable point. Because that would be where the thumb matches, I think. Something like that. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, that looks reasonable enough. I just mostly wonder. So this goes, but you don't actually show most of this part. Because it goes to about there. Yeah, and then I don't know, it's interesting. Organic shapes. That kind of stuff. Okay, now we're a little bit more side on. So the same hand line is going through about here now. Which, actually, now that we've rotated, so this on this side is going out. We've rotated enough to where it's going in. Because, you know, as perspective changes, 3D objects rotate. So there's a knuckle and a knuckle. Okay. Yeah, so the thumb knuckle is always a lot higher than you think. Okay, and then we have knuckle, knuckle. This time the hand does not wrap around fully. But we still do our thing there. We got knuckle, knuckle. Don't go the full way, but we go down. Line, line. And actually, got a couple of extra mounds here. Right, so underneath the knuckle, obviously, so this one is the connector. to the finger. Then it goes down for a bit. And then directly underneath the knuckle, you actually have another one. So that one I think is just like a little bit of a fat roll. So then it goes, it does the thing. And then underneath the knuckle, there's that other part. Yeah. Then obviously, so this connects. Okay. So fingertips. So we once again go down the knuckle. Down the knuckle. So this should be down there like that. It should be over like that and down like this. Something like that. That looks about right. That looks reasonable. Yeah, this is a part that I didn't really think about. But yeah, because if you look at your hand, there's that part right underneath your finger that, like, when you fold it, obviously it just has to, like, fold over everything. So it's, like, kind of a little bit directly underneath the knuckle, but a little bit farther out. Okay. All right. So we make our hand, do our knuckles, go from middle up. We do kind of the box, so it's rounded. We do our knuckles. It should go straight from knuckle to knuckle. We have our nail, and then top of knuckle to top of knuckle. Although for these ones, we are kind of going not in the overall direct route, where we're kind of like more straight on with it, as opposed to the side where there's an actual like straight side and like an underside. We're kind of more straight on, so they're both just kind of like slightly bowed out. I guess they could still be kind of straightish. You could just do two straight. I don't know, we'll see. Obviously, so from up here, we have to wrap around both. And then do we turn straight? Yeah, okay, so we do that kind of wrap around and then turn straight. And then obviously the knuckles are a lot straighter. So structurally, that's more like it. Yeah, the pinky is the one most directly on. Oh, so I missed part of the hand. Let me see if I can sort of do it without the tracer. Something along that. Ah, too thick. Oh, it's because I haven't drawn this part up here yet either. So that should be more right. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, and then obviously So if we did a line halfway, kind of like that. Ish. So obviously we got the straight line from knuckle to knuckle. Knuckle to tip. So where... So this falls like slightly after... Okay. So instead of marking the middle, what if I mark where the... Right, because this is obviously like a different shape. What if I mark where like the actual cylinder would end? And then just go a little bit past that, and then that's where like the webbing, your finger webs are. No thumb on this one, which is interesting. Yeah. So this is a fist from above. So we got the Canucks. Okay. For the knuckles, he's kind of turned sideways. So that's interesting, actually. So it goes like straight down, slightly, and then more. So it just like becomes more and more like inward curved as you go. Which is an interesting thing to notice. And then the thumb, like we mentioned, has this interesting shape. Because it looks like it's right there and there. So I wonder if... So this is something I'm thinking about. So I'm kind of looking at my own hand for some of this. I don't have any music playing? Oh, I accidentally turned it off. That's my bad. Thank you. I had it running. I just accidentally muted it in OBS. But I'm looking at my hand. I'm wondering, because... So there's two ways you can split the top of the hand. You can either split it down to the middle knuckle, which includes the thumb portion, which is like this like entire area here. And then that's the midpoint. Or you can split it basically between these two knuckles. And that is the halfway point, excluding the thumb part. Right, so then it becomes like this part, and then that's about halfway there. So then the thumb gets completely excluded. I think it's probably going to be better to, instead of going in between, to like actually just use the knuckle to split it, which means that I'll be including the thumb part as like into the middle point. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. So, that's reasonable. Looking at this, so we kind of have the same thing we always been doing. So this shape, we got our knuckles, which do still seem to be mostly the same. Obviously, this is shorter than this because the pinky is a lot closer most of the time, which again, so that would be our midpoint, and we would want to include our thumb. Knuckle, knuckle. Yeah, because it wouldn't go directly from the knuckle. Again, I'm looking at my own hands a lot while I'm doing this. So, knuckle, knuckle. Yeah, doing the stuff. Nail. Again, rounded. That line, I think, is not right. And then we got just straight knuckle, straight knuckle, straight knuckle, straight knuckle. So that one's actually kind of turned away from us, though. So then it kind of goes what we've normally been doing. So this is going to go round and down to where we got our knuckle. Right. I should probably finish out the knuckles. Okay, we'll put in our nails. And this goes down to here. Again, we're pretty much straight on with the finger, so they are kind of just actually cylinders. And this one is kind of farther back. But we still do our thing. We kind of go around and do that. We can kind of still make them cylinders, actually. Actually, they're still kind of cylinders about like halfway through. So it's not quite halfway, but it's like maybe 2/3. Excuse me. Okay. I'm just gonna keep bumping the dang mic with my, whatchamacallit. Okay. Excuse me, microphone. I'm trying to draw here. Thank you. Okay. And so this one, because it's a little bit more farther out, kind of got this stuff going on. Oh god, something's like stuck in my throat. Okay. So then of course you got your coming out. So seems like it's kind of just this line, slightly shorter line, and then slightly shorter. Something along that line is like semi-reasonable. Right, of course, the webbing, which seems to go roughly where the cylinders begin. Something along these lines. Knuckles. We got the thumb again. Which is normal, and then that goes down, up. Ignore the fingernails for now, actually. It goes down kind of like this. Once again, it goes down. Let me get the knuckles in. Goes down. These kind of go back. It's kind of interesting that we've seen this like band on like a couple times, at least from the top. It's mostly been the top we've been seeing, but yeah, it was like over here too. There. It's interesting. And then so I wonder, maybe if we like think of the band as something we can use, could be able to like pull this through, and then that can tell us help like shading for the like tendon bits. Reasonable enough. Okay, well, there's our band. Okay, can't draw a straight line. Okay. We got knuckle, 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 knuckle. Kind of got this like going away from us thing, which does mean that again the thumb is now concave. Awesome. And then so this line taken through comes back like that. So if we're at this angle, it should be coming from underneath the thumb. Okay. We got, let's go to the knuckles. So when these guys just like aren't visible. Okay. So kind of straight. So very much pointy finger, and then like we mentioned earlier, there's that little bit directly underneath your knuckle. And then this is the cylinder where it begins. And then so, still trying to figure out where on this wrist strap it should go. So, put it straight up. It'd be there. And they're just kind of like relatively evenly spaced. Somewhere's around there. I think this one's gonna look weird. Yeah, it does look kind of weird. It's cause, well, it's because I made this too round. Wrong layer. Ah, we're finally in the under part of the hand again. So for this, so the hand from underneath is kind of going to be its own thing, huh? Okay, so there's the break. We have the majority of the thumb. From the other side, this is going to be a profile view. Okay. So along those, and then yeah, so there definitely is some kind of structure here. we got, so just like various in here. Actually, it might not be various in there. It might actually just be that there's like a band here. Oh, well, actually, think of like a handprint, right? Thought this was Helltaker, and you were right. Yes, it is Helltaker. It is Helltaker's 3-year anniversary, so we're celebrating. And then you kind of connect it, and then yeah, so from underneath, so is this band just what's underneath the knuckle, like this part here? I think it is. So if you get this part into whatever the shape of the hand you're doing, then it's just cylinders for the under part. Because you don't have to deal with this like weird top part, because you're dealing with the bottom one. Okay. And got yourself some cylinders. Something like this. Doesn't, well, obviously I just fucked up the cylinder here, but that's not terrible. Reasonably looks like an underside of a hand. So I wonder, because that's the part that folds over, looking at my own palm/hand. Yeah, because this is the part that goes. Should it be differentiated on the thumb here? Because there's like another line here. Should that be delineated? Because it's like that's a part of the thumb, which would mean that I'd be delineating it like there, which, to be fair, looks very similar to, was it over here? One of these ones, I think it was like the fist. Or I was thinking about like cutting it again, or like not including part of the thumb type of a thing. We'll see about that one as we go. Lot to go. Okay. Okay, alright. Oh, we got a side view this time. So what shapes are at play here? So obviously we have the thumb that we know. We have the knuckles because they're on the outside. So that's going to be like that. That looks right. Obviously, halfway point. Then yeah, it's like we got the other part, the little triangle on the other side of the hand. Like that's where the thumb is, and then there's like the. So those are kind of the shapes at play. All right, and then that goes down. Got knuckle, knuckle. These ones are just going to be straight lines, and then cylinders underneath. And these are just kind of in the background. But they are the underside, which means that they're just cylinders. This here, and then that's the band. The band on the hand. Okay. Okay. We are progressing. Okay, there's the hand, there's the band. Going from the top of the hand, we actually have the thumb pretty much the entire span of the hand. Okay. And we still got this guy back here. We actually have a portion of this top part here, but it's being covered. So we don't really have the knuckles visible. But we can still do our cylinders because we're underneath. So this is the closed fingers. So it's kind of like a box, but you still have your cylinders. They're just overlapping. Yeah. It's reasonable enough to make sense. Okay, yeah. Then obviously you connect it there. And hint at there still being the final cylinder, which is the pinky. Yeah, so this part here is kind of just like the inner part of the hand. Like if we look at it, where was the first one here? You can kind of just like fill it in. It's almost always going to be receding, right? Except for when your hand is like fully out, it's going to pretty much always be in like shadow and receding. Okay. There we go. Now we have a perspective one. This should be good. So now we got knuckle, 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 knuckle. That's not how that knuckle should look. How should it look? Just, I guess like that. We've got the thumb. So if we look at it, so we're a little bit closer to straight on, so the thumb line should come mostly straight down. I'm glad we got one of these because this is hard to keep our construction set. You're going to trace all 1,000? No, I'm only tracing the first 100. Right now I'm trying to build construction, aka that's why I'm like making cylinders and doing all that. Because if I was like actually just tracing them or whatever, right, I would just like do this kind of a thing. But I'm actually just trying to use the tracings to like understand the shapes, if that makes sense. Let's get the knuckles. There you go, your straight lines. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. So we still have our like this, but because we're at such a perspective, the cylinder parts are going to be very slopey. Right, because we do cylinders around where the knuckles are, and then we do the bottom part as rounded like this. Yeah, I don't think I actually round the bottom. I think I just go straight lines all the way. kind of its own extra cylinder we got going here. And then so this still does the same stuff. Again, super deep because we're pretty foreshortened. Okay. Yeah, something like this, and then still do a lot of our rounding. Still do a lot of our rounding out here. Still do these the way that they should look. Right, webbing is pretty much right below that. Okay, so with that like foreshortened bit, so this should connect here. And this should be technically that little part directly underneath the knuckle. Actually, if it's foreshortened, it should probably be like that. And then the thumb would just come out. Okay, so there's knuckle, knuckle. Then we got the face. Got that shape, and of course, the shape is still the same, even though it's just a sharper angle, which means that this should be technically doing... This one's a little bit weird. The way the foreshortening works on like your thumb bit. Oh, that tablet? Okay. Huh. So if I was to draw this without looking at it anymore, so I would say that it goes like this. And then the skin overlap would probably favor the hand. So it would go like this. How does it actually look? So it does favor the hand. Oh, there's a little artifact there. That's kind of messing it up. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lighting artifact there. No wonder I was like, what is that? So, whoops. Okay, so that... Oh, it's a lot farther down than I thought. Hold on. Okay. So why is it farther down than I think? So I have to continue back here. Well, I guess it's because this part here, that skin just connects directly to that part of the knuckle, huh? It's like you do this pretty much regardless, and then yeah, since this would be favored on like the skin flap, you would just pull up like that, and that's more accurate, right? Yeah. Although it's still a lot lower. Oh, that's a lot lower than I thought too. Okay, so that's the webbing, but then there's actually this. No wonder. Okay, so there's that bit there, which carries through, and that's why the thumb, it looks so big. Okay, okay. Leave it to weird foreshortening stuff to mess with you. How am I dealing with the thumb otherwise? I'll have to see about that as we go. Foreshortened fist. Okay. Well, we got knuckles. We got bottom knuckles. Bottom knuckle on the thumb. Okay. So we would draw the line here. And we would do our normal thing. So these go down like this. Because we're pretty much straight on. We're a little bit less straight on as we go farther away. Then from there, this is its own kind of cylinder. And it just goes down to the cylinder. Okay. Then there's a little bit over, and then this is a unique knuckle thing where you'll kind of go over. And like you'll get this little concave over the fists. Yeah. Just super chill hand stuff. So that would be like what the fist kind of look like. Then there's obviously, this is like the foreshortening bit. Here, there's the band. Yeah, something along those lines. Okay. So fist is fairly simple. Again, it still has the slightly in, a lot more in, and then like all the way in from the knuckles down. Ah, we have an open hand! Open hand underneath. Mr. Red has 100 hands, and I thought, wow, that's torture. Now I see it's 1,000 hands, and I'm horrified. Well, the first 100 are tracing, right? I'm just tracing and trying to build a construction so that I can like break down the shapes. Then it's going to be probably several hundred with reference, and then I'm going to start trying to freehand them. Hey, freehand them, get it? But for now, we're just going to be doing what we can. So there's still this around here. The thumb has its ones. So I think for the thumb, this is something that I got to pay attention to. So in the same way that like the fingers have that little bit under the knuckle, like this bit over here. I think the thumb is going to need to have that as well, pretty much. So like that's going to be the best way to keep track of that particular part, I think. Okay, and then we still got this is like a band. So this part seems to always be inward. Then again, we are at the under part. It's actually kind of crazy to me. So I guess full extension. Let me look at my own hands again. So it's never really like a band like this. It's always kind of like out and about like that. Yeah, so it's always going to be like a short, like big rounded part, and like that's going to be like how the hand works. And then, you know, whatever, that part. Okay. And then once again, from underneath, you just have your cylinders because the knuckles aren't visible. And yeah, we'll continue to kind of like color this part in until we get it figured out. Yeah. Okay, so how does this one look wonky? Or is that, well, it actually doesn't look that wonky. Hold on. And then obviously, technically there's webbing between the fingers. So it doesn't look as wonky as I thought it would if I removed the background. Okay. So I wonder, because obviously you can still kind of do like middle lines, even if you don't have knuckles. So I might still do those. We'll see as we go. Okay. Ah, we are pointing. Okay, that's right. So we were talking about how the thumb is going to want to keep this bit up here. So that's going to be the bit underneath. And so this part's, I think, going to be integral to making sure I do thumbs right. Again, in the same way that doing this part is going to be integral to making sure the side of the hand looks right. So once again, we're still on the inside of the hand. Got our little triangle thing there, and then we got our band. And then again, always kind of inward, convex, as the kids call it, on that. And then we can do sort of like just a straight line, because it's pretty much just a straight cylinder. Then we cut it. Well, we got the knuckles here, actually, because it's turned around. Which means that we do the normal knuckle thing. So we've got our cylinders, but since it's bent over, it does this. We can kind of see the rest of it. Is that kind of what's happening here? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, Knuckles, Knuckles. Knuckles the echidna. Yeah. So then it goes up. Then obviously the nail is extra long. So this is the part of our hand that we are mostly ignoring for now. And that looks like a hand. Okay, closed fist from underneath. Well, not fist, but closed hand. Okay, so we still got this stuff. Can't really see the top knuckle that well, but we know the rough shapes of the cylinders now. Take a shot every time he says knuckles. You are going to die by the time I finish drawing all these hands. If that's the benchmark, you're going to die. Farewell, it was nice knowing you. Alright. Alright, there's the band. So there's actually not that much of it visible because we just kind of went straight into hand. So this is our knuckle orientation here. Which is that? I mean, closing my own fist, that kind of reads true. So it's always going to be like middle two and then like outer two for your like closed hand like that. Which is kind of interesting. Oh yeah, it actually looks so weird if you do it the other way. Like if you take your hand right now and if you like make this hand where you just like close your fingers, put your middle two like inner knuckles higher than the outer ones. And like it actually just looks so weird. So like it makes sense. So that is just always how it is the inner two are always farther in. Oh, and yeah, and so that yeah, it's so that our hand naturally reaches like a certain point, which is it's kind of like an alien smiley face, actually. I don't know if it'll make it easier to remember, but it's kind of an alien smiley face. You got your knuckles here, and then you've got your knuckles in a string out here like this. So it's kind of like an alien smiley face. You pull down like that. So I see the cylinders want to be the way they are. And this one has a little bit of added stank because it's a little bit cockeyed. But the rest, pretty much all good. Because we're pretty much straight on. Yep, that's the cylinder. That's the cylinder. And then, yeah, so then we still have our little band of the inside of our hand. Then we're here like this. This is always convex, or concave. Always concave. And once again, sure is a hand. Okay. Okay, so this is a much more relaxed hand. I don't think I'll ever draw this specific hand position, but it's a good one to know. So first we got our big triangle out here. Got our thumb over here. Which goes up and then in. So these cylinders, good to go as always. So thumb. And we have our palm pad out, in. It's also because the middle fingers are longer than the outside. Yeah, that's like why they jut out, and that's why like it makes this, because these two have longer. So in order to keep this curve, these ones just kind of opposite curve due to the length. Neat little things you learn as you try to figure out exactly how it all works. Okay, so I made the palm pad. We got knuckles going on out here. Which lets us go angled down for the other cylinder. So when you can just see the edge of the cylinder, see the edge of that cylinder as well. Then you connect it to the palm pad we have. That looks reasonable enough. And then, so it looks like the nail is about halfway. So about the halfway mark of the like final finger bit is about where the nail is. Actually, maybe just like slightly above halfway. Yeah, so like halfway is like the bottom of like the cuticle or whatever. Okay. Continue to do our thumb. The thumb, interestingly, I feel is kind of the easiest one. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's such like a unique, interesting shape that it sticks out in my mind more. But I think I actually like the thumb a lot more than the other parts. This triangle bit. So now this is like kind of a closed hand version of that. So then we'd have the knuckles in. Once again, we got our cylinders. And then we have the hint of the cylinders back here. Then once again, we can kind of see, because it's the side view, the cylinder's there, and then the like palm pad, as it wraps around, we close it there. Getting faster as I kind of understand how I want to construct this more. And again, about halfway, or a little over halfway, is where that nail starts. And it likely goes it's just kind of there. I'll have to get a feel for the nails as we go as well. Okay. So there's that band. Okay, we still have the thumb. Although this time, the thumb is kind of trapped. Construct that there. We got our palm bit, connect it. Yeah, like there-ish. Okay, so we've got our fingertips obscuring. Let's try drawing it from the fingertips first. Let's go down to knuckles, which then go down to knuckles, yeah. So if you start with fingertip, you kind of go like that, and then obviously you go down, which gives you this kind of a look. Not proportionally correct, but that's about right. Bum, bum, bum. So again, we got our cylinders. From an angle. Those fingertips close. Once again, this one we can kind of see more of the other cylinder. It's on the edge. Technically, this is the palm bit. How do I sell that? Kind of a hard sell, I think. Guess it just needs to go further down into that. I think that's reasonable. And what we got? Oh, we got pointing. doing finger gestures. Still have our band. Got that, got our thumb. Knuckle. So that's a normal cylinder, in like that, normal cylinder. Okay, so you can kind of think of it as like a normal cylinder that simply has a cut in it. All right, you can kind of think of it like that. And of course you got this. So then we have our palm pad. In this instance it goes like this. That connects. This is always convex. Concave. Gosh. I keep just saying convex when I mean concave today. It's just one of those days, I guess. Okay, so that looks... I mean, that looks like part of a hand. Okay. So then... we go straight. And we begin our cylinders. So maybe that like little bit that I've been mentioning for like previous stuff, it's not actually a part of the palm pad. There's like a little bit of it above it. Maybe it's a person by person thing. Maybe it's just this person's hands. Because looking at my own hand, it just kind of looks the same. Although I guess you could also just consider that the palm pad just kind of like goes up a little bit. And it's not like a perfect line like that. It's more like this. More like an actual paw. So you can think of it something like that, I suppose. Okay. So we made the finger gun. Now we need only make the rest of the fingers. So we think about it, so knuckle here, that goes straight, and then so they would start around here. And of course the pinky takes a big leap down. So they kind of go in like a downward arc. So it's kind of like roughly halfway there, and then you just kind of almost go down to the palm pad. All right. Then again, it's the cylinders at an angle. Yep. And it seems like so pretty much every time there's like a curve, the other one kind of ends up straighter. That just kind of seems to naturally be the case. Rid of the visible bit of the palm pad here. All right. Cylinders again. Bottom half and then connect them. Go. So something interesting. I'm not sure if it necessarily matters every time, but this orientation here, where we've got like this, and this, is very similar to the fist we have, where it kind of does the same thing, where it just kind of leans farther in with each outward finger. So not only do the like top ones behave like that, also the very small inner ones kind of tend to behave like that as well, it looks like. Good to know, good to know. And this one should be able to see a good chunk of the cylinder. Because again, whichever one is on the end should be able to see a lot of it. So, like that. Yeah, that looks about right. But yeah, so this is technically a part of the pad. The pad is just like that. Okay, hey, we got a thumbs up. Got our part there. Got our thumb cylinder that we cut. And put here. Cool. Then our palm pad is kind of folded up. Seems to happen relatively often. So if you have your hand closed, the palm pad sort of inverts. Checks out, makes sense. Okay. Just for my own mental note there. So then that's where the palm pad starts, which means got a cylinder out here to the knuckle. Once again. Okay, this is always concave. Once again, we just kind of have this downward trajectory, which means that we have these two farther in and these two about the same. See, it's all lining up, right? These are the rules of the hands. The hand rules. These are little things that you only notice once you start like really studying something. Then that closes because this is the palm. Shade that inner part. Well, actually, technically, I don't really have to keep shading it, but it does help differentiate. Yeah, see, like this looks fairly reasonable. Okay. Next. So here's thumb. You can do a cylinder, break it. So them's the knucks. Maybe this one is just higher up than I think. This one kind of looks like it's just a lot bigger now. So what if it's just like this kind of a shape? It's just like the giant hand bean. Yeah, what if that's a bit more reasonable and then it just immediately starts hand. This is always convex, concave, god damn it. Okay, it is concave. We do the thing. And remember, this is kind of outy on the paw hand. Then we can start sort of doing cylinders. From underneath, it kind of looks like it's all the same ratio. Where like each finger just kind of has the same sized cylinders along its length. Getting maybe very slightly smaller each time. Yeah, so from above, it like really looks like it shrinks based on the knuckles. But from below, they kind of really do look the same kind of length. At least very similar length. Then obviously you still got your little guy there. And then the finger webbing slightly above the paw pad. That's actually a pretty nice looking hand so far. This might be the nicest one so far, as far as like the cleanest with like the way I've done it. Yeah. Okay. You do this. And you once again do the thumb with a cylinder that you cut. Which then goes, gosh dang. I think my mic just keeps on like slowly sliding forward into where my hand is with the pen. All right, and then the pad starts pretty much right there. Then it gets big, always concave. Then since we're underneath, we have the little extensions on the pad. So now we actually have motion on the underneath. So now we gotta do the cylinders, but like not straight. Okay, so cylinder one. So this one mostly the same. What if I still do like the knuckle indentation, but think of it as like inverted, right? Because on the top you'd have the knuckle like this, but on the bottom you do kind of have that like inside bit, like the armpit type of thing, where it's like on the inside. That this diagram is not very helpful in visualizing what I'm trying to say. But maybe that's the way that'll help me. So then cylinder here. And then again, whatever's in front. Trying to build it up. Would it be easier to do from just whatever's in front more than like actually the structure? Right, because now there's this which has to structure back here. Something like that. So yes, but I messed up one part. Yeah, because that's a knuckle. Right, yeah, so it's a cylinder there, which connects up there. Okay. Not terrible, though. Okay. More hand shapes that are relatively fun. Okay. If we do our thumb thing, start from the outside. We go up to a knuckle and a knuckle. Again, we have our cylinder. lets us make a bean. Then we can make the tall bean. Then we can make the palm pad. But that is, of course, obscured by the thumb. Because it's in front this time. Ooh, actually, that's a really good idea. So since I'm on the bottom, instead of doing straight lines, if I do slightly curved lines, because the bottoms of your fingers are more curved than the top, can help visualize it better, I think. And you're still your cylinders. Then you can kind of see the top knuckle as well. So this one goes so you can see the top knuckle for sure, kind of the bottom. You can see the tip. Then you can kind of go. Shade this. Connect. And about there. That's the nail. About above halfway. Okay. Figuring out where I want the nails to. Oh, I didn't. Oh. Oh, okay. All right, we're still here. Okay, I panicked for a second. I thought I was like, oh god, did my hands all just vanish? But we're good. So if I want to go by this line I have here, something like that, which looks pretty reasonable. Cylinder goes up like that. Got our bean. So it overlaps here because obviously part of it's in front of the other part. And then that's the palm pad. So we can kind of see the knuckle there, and there, and there, knuckle there, and there. Have the inner part. So they kind of look like doll joints, actually, the way I'm drawing them. Okay. So I wonder if I can now, without actually tracing this part, I want to finish it out. So with just these parts, finish out the finger. That's the webbing. Which means that is certainly just kind of foreshortened back there, hiding away. That one's obviously too much. Something like that. That's pretty close. I just cut in too sharply. So instead of like trying to like cut in, just try to keep it relatively straight on one side. Yeah, because you don't want this. You want this. Okay. Next hand. Band. Cylinder that we cut, and because we now know where we cut it, we can put that in. We have our bean. Have our palm pad, always concave. Oh, we gotta finish the rest of the thumb. Remember, palm pad always extends a little bit. Then we're going out, out, out. Again, roughly the same sizes for all of it. And we have knuckles, because these ones have moved around. That should go there. I'll actually do that part once we're in there. So with just that information, aka we've just done the typical skeleton groundwork you kind of do. I'm gonna try and finish it out from this. So it's a cylinder, obviously. Again, roughly all the same size. Cylinder. Cylinder. And it goes up. So then here we have the outside knuckles. It's a cylinder. Once again. So I think I made this too thin. Okay, well, let's remove that Pesky underneath garbage. Cylinder. All right. So I definitely made them too small. Yeah. So they're just literally, I think, just too small, right? Yeah, they just simply need to be larger. So like just larger, larger, larger. And again, they all should be roughly the same size as well. Which means larger. Larger. So that should be much closer. And of course we got our webbing where it's needed. And overlaps. I messed up the angle in the end. So I end up losing the angle over time. But I mean, that's pretty much it. All right. Do our bean. Do our thumb cylinder. Then we do our palm pad. Concave. I feel like this style, like this type of construction that I'm inventing is like really good for the way I like to do it. There's the fingies. Okay. And then we got these out here. They look like the right length, maybe. Okay, so can I construct these fingers like this? Okay, so I make myself some cylinders as per the usual so far. Roughly the same size cylinders. How far away is that? Pretty far away. So I'm running into a trend of I'm always making it too small if I'm not looking directly at it. Which means that when I make my little cylinders, I just need to go on the outside of that bit. So this should be a lot closer. Yeah, that's a lot closer. Though in the end, fingertip does taper. Okay, so thinking of that again. So go on the outside. Taper. So this time I'm overcorrecting. is closer. I'm messing up this part here. So that part is just bigger than I think. So that part's a nice, juicy, large cylinder. Okay. Webbing, of course. Then now we're doing another part of it, which is going to be this part here. Okay, so I'm going to move all the parts that are not going to be visible. So we've got knuckle, 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 knuckle. Looks like we got inside, inside. Tip, tip, knuckle. Can't really see too much of the inside, although we'll put the palm bit back where some of that is. And that should be good enough. So that is pretty much on that edge. So it should pretty much just fill out like that. Huh. What did I just do? Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this part. Okay, so that's the tip of the finger. This is there. This is the knuckle, so we go to the outside. And obviously it's a cylinder. That is definitely wrong. So it is a cylinder of this direction. Okay. Okay, knuckle. And once again, go cylinder, connect it there, and there. So it was over here, so something like that. That ought to be pretty close. Is pretty close. So I think I see what was messing me up here. So I needed to go more on the outside of that. All right. Kind of goes out to about the same length as the bean. Thumb cylinder. And another bean. Palm pad, concave, parts out. That's something that's like reasonable. Because So obviously you just kind of connect them. Yeah, I don't think that particular method's going to be a reasonable way to just like, you do the thing, and then you do the thing, and then that, and then that. Like, I don't think that's probably going to be too reasonable. Well, maybe. Actually, maybe that's like a really good way. We'll see. We'll try it out a little bit more. I love the Helltaker soundtrack, man. To be honest, I actually just love Helltaker. Okay, and then do the finger webbing. How is that? Not terrible, actually. I kind of just messed up the angle of this one. Brush, there we go. Something like that. I mean, that's kind of a nice way to do it. Even if it's not necessarily like right, quote unquote, it feels good. It feels good. Well, here's your reminder to take a little stretch. If you've been sitting there doing the same thing for a long time, I'm gonna stretch my hands, probably just, reach around, stretch my arms a bit. Here's your reminder to do so. Stretch break, stretch break. If you've just been sitting for several hours, stand up, get some blood flowing, good idea. Oh, my fingers. All right, get them hands stretched. Okay. Stretch the arms. And a hydration break, that's a good idea. Well, speaking of, I just realized I forgot to grab my water that I usually grab before stream. I'll probably go run and grab that here in a sec. Okay. Alrighty, so I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab a water. Drink some water too. Always highly important. Yummy, oh. Yummy, yummy water. Clean my glasses real quick. Okay, now that we've stretched and we've hydrated, let's get back into it. How much have we done so far, by the way? So 1, 2, 29. So this will be our 30th hand. Woo! 30 down, 970 to go. Oh, this is going to be a long journey. So this one should be a good one. Got an interesting angle. So I think I should usually try to start from the outside. So I can go for a bit, make the cylinder. Make my big bean. Again, I think I should start from the outside. Let me go to our palm pad. Once again, concave. So let's try this again. Using this like lines way. Okay. Right, but the ones on the side usually should have larger bases. That looks reasonable. Is that the hand position that was in? Tablet. Move. Tablet? Hello? Okay, there it goes. It's not actually too far off, because these two are kind of straight on, and then this one curves back. So these do look a little stumpy, but part of that is because I drew the palm bit too large. Okay. Then of course I do the hand connectors. Would I just do like a knuckle bit here? Is that maybe something that would be okay? Alright. Something along those lines. Alright. 30 down. 30 hands. I keep hitting shit, and I'm sorry I keep hitting the mic. It's just dangerous around here, I suppose. Gotta watch out. Okay, we're back to more underside of the hand. There's the band. Okay, so we're out and about. So that would be the type of thing we're doing. Because that kind of cut in already. Yeah. Okay, and then we got the palm pad. Always concave. And then so now we're kind of foreshortening away. So these, while being this shape, are also going to get slightly shorter instead of maintaining the same size. In fact, I'm actually going to exaggerate the foreshortening even more to make sure I'm getting it down right. Okay. This part always kind of goes out a bit more. Again, always afford larger sizes for the edge fingers to wrap around. That looks semi-foreshortened. Like away from me, I mean. Looks reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, it looks okay. Although I think in order to push it next time, I'll probably make the like parts of the pad a little bit closer in, so it's a little bit more of like that 3D overlap. So like instead of like this, it would be like, again, just some of it. Okay. Go out. Down. Make the bean. Make the cylinder. We make the palm pad. Speaking of like palm P words, do any of y'all have like Palm Pilots when you were kids? I don't think they were actually called like Palm Pilots, but I always thought that's what it meant. So I think like it was like brand name Palm or whatever. They're just like the little like, effectively what like your phone does now, but they were just like a little electronic like PDA type thing, and they just couldn't do phone calls. They were just like little computers. I remember I loved those things, man. They're like, you gotta get little games on them. You could read on them. They were like little Kindles. I actually really like Palm Pilots. Okay. So got ourselves our little bumps out. What do we got? We got a fairly straight. Obviously, that's our tip. And we got, oh, curve up, mega curve up. We got curve up, mega curve up. So if I did something like this, yeah, you can kind of tell what I'm going for here. So here we go. Okay. So yeah, so then this one curves up. I didn't draw the tip. Did I draw the tip? No, I didn't. Okay. I was wondering, I was like, wait, this isn't like the top of it and it's like the outer knuckle or nothing, but no. Okay, I just didn't draw it this time. There should be something like that. And this one, again, outer one, allow for extra. Allow for it to go. Allow for that to go. Oh, I did it again. So these technically don't have the tips showing. That's just that, and then technically that would be the tip. That would be the tip. That's the tip. Be like that. That one, this seems kind of like a whack way to do it, but not terrible. So we got those. Nails would start about there. So like that's not really that bad. Well, this one is definitely very off. Because this one is actually kind of like foreshortened coming towards us. Go. So this one is sort of coming towards us. Be something like that. That be the nail sort of a thing. That is a lot closer. Okay, it's not bad. Got the band. Okay, we're back to the top of the hand. We got this part of the thumb. We're back to the top of the hand with the knuckles. So these go through. This is just like a cylinder. Convex, concave, god damn it. So then for these, it's setting up the knuckles and the tips. There we go. Okay. That, and then this goes down like that. this. Oh, I changed the direction too much on that. So it should be like this, like that. That. Okay. So we can go down. Seems exceedingly long on this knuckle part here. But again, the top is not quite as proportional as the bottom, it feels like. I just drew the knuckles way off. Wow, what the fuck? No wonder it feels long. I just literally didn't even place the knuckles right. They're literally just farther down. Yeah, like that's just a lot closer to where they actually are. I don't know what kind of drugs I was smoking right then. So you got these. Over. Right. The outside of the knuckles. That looks a bit more reasonable. That's not too bad. That was a little bit too close. Close to the knuckles on this one. That one's a little bit more straight on. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I don't know, we'll see if I do anything with that. Alright, so it does feel like we are back to the top of the hand, which is good. I think I got a good feel for the bottom so far. But the top is also important. So for the top, we've got... Oh, there's the band. Out with the thumb. To our cylinder. And right, so this would theoretically be the straighter cylinder. But that also connects. So what is, I think I just fucked this part up. Yeah, so it's like there-ish. Over knuckles. And like there, which connects up here to our knuckles. Okay. These all connect. And there's a tip to this. I wonder if this is a feasible thing on the front side with the knuckles too. Well, we'll see. Probably about right. I mean, that looks pretty close. And then pull these fellows in. That looks pretty close. Okay, so I'm a little bit off, but not in a way that is like too noticeable. So this is interesting. So this is, I'm seeing some of the bottom part there. AKA, I did the webbing on this one too low. Okay, so this is how this one works. So they connect here, favor the one in the front, and then do the behind one. So we should do the same thing here. So favor the one in front and do something with the behind one. And if we want do more there. I mean, that looks like a pretty reasonable hand. It's not quite an exact copy of the reference one for that, but that's like pretty good. Look at that little thumbs up. Okay. Got our little wristband. So we do our thumb out. Well, actually, so we go out. We do a set of knuckles. Then we do thumb out. There as well. And those connect. Then we can do the cylinder stuff again. That's probably reasonable enough. Again, outside finger always allows for extra room. All right, get wide. Right. Then now again, allow for extra size on the side. Because that one goes goes down. So out, and then goes out again. I messed that up. So how? So I don't think this is how I would probably notate this, but there's a cylinder. Cylinder. This one just continues around. This is another cylinder. Kind of like that. Right, and then we would look at the webbing. Favor the one in the front. Favor the one in the front. Favor the one in the front. But they're all pretty close, so you can't really see too much of the webbing. Yeah. Then like that. Yeah, and that leaves room for the big muscle that's right there, because I know there is one. Okay, I think I'm getting a good feel for how I'm constructing. Right, I just need to iron out a few of the details on like how I'll notate. So going out, do the knuckles. Which will always have this curve. Then we do the thumb, which shoots off. Always. Okay, and then maybe if I notate it with the knuckle lines. That would mean that there's a cylinder here, cylinder here, cylinder here, cylinder here, which when you make it look like it is, it's going to be, we're looking at a different angle, so it should go like this. Going around it, going around it. How close? Not too far off, actually. Let me just lighten up the guidelines. Then to 10. Of course, favor the one in the front. Front, favor the one in the front. Like that's reasonable. Alrighty. Okay, so we go out on the side. We do knuckle, 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 knuckle. Okay. Then we have our thumb stick out. Normal cylinder. also, as per the usual, cuts in. Okay, so then go knuckle to knuckle. To knuckle. To knuckle. To knuckle. And these ones are going to be completely invisible. So because we're on the side view, we're going to see some of the palm pad. Because we're going to get some of it here. So we could, well, let me actually blur opacity on these, some of these guidelines. And it should be okie dokie. Okay. So then it would be kind of done like that. And like that. That would kind of be the palm pad, which of course always concaves into that. Go down to the knuckle. Knuckle is also cave. Curled up. And again, the knuckle. Goes down. Goes through here. It would be like this. Oh, I'm running a little thin again. Looks kind of reasonable. And of course, the knuckles do the thing. There's a very specific patterns that are appearing, right? Which is like the knuckles, which are of course rounded, going in that, especially when the fist is closed, and then the like tendon bits, I feel like they go in like kind of the reverse, where the pinky is the straight one. And it kind of does that, and it makes this like little like diamond type of thing. So like a fist is kind of just like a big diamond. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So we just got the, well, technically we got two knuckles. But, so we got that. Which if we again just take this, push it right to it. So now again we're in the half and half zone. So we can kind of do the thumb thing. also means that we can do this. So we're going to have some amount of the palm that's going to connect. You can go down, down. Got the full thing. Okay. All right. To be fair, the palm bit is technically going to keep going around. And, we got our wrist. That looks fairly reasonable. And then, like, this line is technically not visible because it's behind the thumb line. What did I just do? Okay. Everything got really blurry for like a second. Okay. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. And so on this one, so we go halfway. Draw that. This should be roughly where the nail goes. Hey, okay. So that is correct. Okay, we are back to underside of the hand. Alright. We got the big bean over here. Got the palm pad. So from the palm pad, got two overlapping, so we're gonna ignore these because they overlap. I'm gonna work on these. Something like this, and then so these overlap. So if I do something along the lines of, well, let me clear out the area I'm going to be working in. I do something like the tip, the knuckle, the knuckle, the knuckle, the knuckle. Okay. I think that's actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. Got to include the part of the palm pad. Okay. I think that's It is too small. So I gotta allow for extra cylindricality. Because that's a real word, not something I made up. Gotta allow for extra cylindricality. Okay. So you go up here. Again, extra cylindricality. So it would be like this. And the nail would be somewhere like there. Little off on the nail, but otherwise okay, right? Yeah. Hola. Oh, hello. So I think I want to change from, instead of doing like this like cylinder thing on the tip, I think I want to figure out a different way. So if I'm doing like this type of a thing, if I do like a paw pad type. If you look at your finger, because your fingerprint is pretty much in this region, right? Is there a way to use that as like an indicator? Okay. I don't know, maybe there's not like a better way. We'll find out as we go. Still have a ton to go. We know this is, so 1, 2, 3. This is the 40th hand. We're making progress. Okay, so we still have our like bean. Still have our thumb bean. It's just like less prominent, it looks like. Okay, got our thumb. Okay, still got our palm pad. Yeah, the hell just happened? Okay. Of course, again, that always connects in a concave manner. If I do this for the like fingertip, would that be helpful? Guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, let me clear out some of this. So this is one of those things where, so I would have that, but we got knuckle, 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 knuckle. palm pad. Oh, we're gonna do the ones in front first, as you do. Oh, I should have connected these. Okay. All right, so that's knuckle, that's palm pad. Okay. So that should be the cylinder. It's like this should be the cylinder. Cylinder around the palm pad entrance, just sort of where we connect there. Oh, well, we got 2 fingers on it. Then got ourselves our cylinders. Interestingly, it doesn't actually work that well for the pad in the way that I'm doing it. Let me change it up. Okay, I think I messed this guy up. It's got to be like that. So how far off am I? Relatively far off, but not crazy. I don't like this fingerprint style. So I think I'll just continue to do like the loop on the end instead of the like fingerprint that you surround. Okay, 40th hand done. Long, long journey. There's the wristband. Thumb. So what if I just build a lot of the other fingers and stuff like the thumb? Or it's just kind of like the thing, and then it sort of has that tapered off. And then sometimes from like the front has it like that. We'll see. All right, palm pad. Once again. Okay. Do it from this. Okay, so first things first, there's a cylinder here. This needs to connect. So does this into the cylinder. There's a cylinder down here, which would connect to the cylinder up here. And this one here connects there. There's a cylinder. The cylinder connects there. Okay. Hey, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty reasonable. Getting the hang. Definitely didn't do this part right, though. One of these. What's the real answer? So it looks reasonable, but it's not right. So what am I missing? I gave too much space. Really? Okay, so this length. This length and this length are actually very similar, despite a pinky being significantly shorter. That's where I got. Okay. And you, I'm gonna have to take another look at as well. But a pinky is significantly shorter. One of these. And then what is happening here? Oh, so I got the angle wrong. The angle is more like this. Something like that. I mean, that's pretty close. So more like that. Oh, that does look a bit better. Nails, oh, I nailed it. That's pretty much where the nails are. Perfect. Okay. That. Finish out the thumb. Now the palm pad. Okay. Actually, so I remember up here, so I mentioned how palm pad is out, and then when it's closed, the palm pad kind of turns in. I can probably leverage that by saying, oh, some of these are going to be more in than others. Meaning it'll switch. So something like that from the palm pad. Then we'll probably just want to do our first far one out, right? Yeah, so get rid of these. That ought to be enough. So pinky curled around is fairly obvious because it's curled around. Then we got these fellows. Go down. These are cylinders. Cylinders that go up. Knuckles, about halfway. Right above that starts the cuticle. You just take it up. That is much closer on the nails. Not quite right, but pretty much there. Oh, I didn't do it on this one. should be around there. Yep, pretty much. Ooh, although you gotta keep in mind the tip. Huh. Could not save. You better save. What do you mean you can't save? Okay. Alright, keeping on moving, keep on trucking. Keep on keeping on. Let me double check how we're doing. Okay, drink some more water. What number is this? 1, 2, should be 43 is what we're about to do. Doesn't look to be quite the right size. That looks a bit better. All right. Okay. So you do this. Follow out. You grab a knuckle. Not seeing the whole thing, so we're going to do some thumb. We got some of the both. Do the thumb shit. Got our bean, which is being overlapped currently. This, which leads into our palm. Well, our palm pad, I should say. So palm pad goes up like that. On the inside, gonna rear knuckle, 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 knuckle. So just doing a little bit of connecting the dots right now. Okay. This one's a knuckle. What is happening here? Ah, the palm pad. This one's the palm pad. this. And that's the inner part. I think the inner part is larger than that. Technically that connects. That looks reasonable enough. Wristband. Oh wait, we're on the inside of a hand. So we're gonna go up, make our bean, make our thumb bean. Start on the outside like you actually would. And we got our palm. Connects. Okay. Shade. Like your thumbnail, thank you. I like to believe I'm going to end up looking like that by the end of this. So mostly straight lines. Curve at the tip. Stays out. That's gonna be too thin. Are those fingers touching? I don't remember. Of course, again, afford extra size on the outside. So they're not touching. At least not the whole way. Don't start touching till partway down. I mean, that feels pretty reasonable. Try and go fast for a few and see how it feels. So again, it's an outpost, so it's mostly these ones were just not even close, huh? So afford extra room. There's a Ford Extra on the outside. I mean, that feels pretty good for going like kind of fast. So now we're doing a fast closed fist. Which again, the knuckles line up straight down like that, which means we've got this orientation. Thing. Okay. Do a bit of a speed round. Okay, so first things first, let me finish the thumb. The thumb is going to be in front of all of these. This. Okay, well that was quick and smooth. Let's try to put in the nails. Pretty close. Okay. So we go up. Find the knuckle. Do the thumb. This. We want the other knuckle briefly visible. Go down here. Go down here. So it should be something like this. No, it's nowhere close. I didn't actually note anything down for that. Okay, so it's like this angle. Then of course, this guy here. Technically attaches like that. Close. get a bit of this, which is just the overlap. Okay, continuing the speed rounds. So you go down, you find a knuckle, there's another knuckle. Do the thumb. I gotta put those knuckles in the wrong place. Yeah, because the knuckles are there and there. Okay. So set it up like that. Right. That goes down. Of course, it goes down like that as well. So you got room there. That. We got these guys back here. What is happening with this one? Oh, it really is just peeking out, huh? I mean, speed round's going pretty okay. Wristband. Go out, you find a knuckle. Go out, you find the thumb knuckle. Can I extrapolate from just this? Not quite. Something like that. Well, actually, what I should do is I should extrapolate the thumb first. Right. Remember the angle of the hand. It's kind of going in like that. So then this goes up like that, which means this there should be somewhere along the lines of this. No, too far apart. Right. Okay. Remember, these ones closer than those ones. And that might still be a little bit too evenly, but it's pretty close. Not you. Okay, I see. Now we're doing a down. That should be this style. If it's rounded, should be like that. Those are much too short, aren't they? No, they're actually not that bad. Okay. So I was wrong. They are not too short at all. Okay. Kind of go around a bit. Favor the one in front. Not bad. All right, speed round. Go up, there's a knuckle. Do the thumb. And each fingertip. The lines. Palm. Okay, let me finish up the thumb first. Okay, and then connects. That's a knuckle. Cylinders on cylinders. Always allow extra room on the edges. Looks reasonable. Ah, these ones are turned. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I think that's pretty reasonable. So that is it for our speed round. And we have now done 50 hands. Look at these. Hush, save, damn you. Stop giving me nonsense. Okay, so we have evolved after just 50. I mean, this is actually looking pretty nice. Oop. Yeah, there we go. Now it's fitting pretty clean on the screen. Hell yeah, this looks great. This looks great so far. Good progress. 50 down, and it only took me 3.5 hours. So multiply that by, what, 20? 20 by 3.5, so that's 60, 70 hours total that it's going to take me to do this, it sounds like. Well, we'll see if I can end up speeding up a little later, because because 70 hours is almost 3 full days worth of effectively just streams. Ugh. Okay. Well, we'll see. I'll probably try to speed up. I'll probably do more speed rounds. I might even do like a speed stream, but either way, we're making great progress. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. We will catch you on the next one. And you better have a wonderful day, or I will come and find you, and I will make your day wonderful on purpose. Okay, bye-bye. Nope. There we go. Now we can leave.